And good morning again, everybody. We're now Facebook Live here on the DeLand Sport Aviation Village Facebook page. I want to welcome everybody to the DeLand Showcase 2017 and our new feature this year, the Showcase Stage. We have a stage set up on the inside of the commercial exhibit building, the indoor exhibit building. We're tucked back in a corner here. I'm Dave Shellbetter, host of Sun and Fun Radio. My partner in crime here, my co-conspirator, Mike Daniels, is running. He's behind the camera right now. A lot of times he'll come out and do some too. So I want to welcome everybody to Showcase 17 and our Showcase stage, where we give our exhibitors, vendors, sponsors a chance to come up and tell us about their wares and draw people over to their exhibits. We're going to start out this morning with an interview with a gentleman that I saw this when it first came out. The first one I thought, now that is one good-looking airplane. And of course, I'm talking about the Commuter Craft. I want to welcome to the Showcase stage Richard Hogan. Good morning, Richard. How you doing today?
Good to see you. Appreciate the opportunity.
No problem at all. Now, your model that you're displaying and stuff is the Innovator, right? That's your new model here? But I know that you'll wind me up and let me go interview, so I'm going to actually just pass the mic off to you and let you tell us about Commuter Craft and the Innovator.
Thank you very much. The Innovator was, as many young people do, a dream of mine from a very young age. And I always wanted this to be something that would help grow aviation, especially general aviation, and help people utilize their aircraft as more of a day-to-day function of the transportation system. That's part of where the name Commuter Craft came from. And the aircraft that we are bringing to market now is called the Innovator, because in my mind, to do that, you actually had to change the game somewhat. So our goal was to redefine the new level of aviation that can be brought to the common person. It has to be affordable. It has to be something that they can actually attain and feel comfortable that they can learn to fly. So it has to be easy to fly. It still has to have the performance and utility that we've grown to understand and appreciate the aviation community. As we developed the criteria for the Innovator, we decided on a few key design features to outline out what our design goals were. We wanted a two-place aircraft, a 200-mile-an-hour aircraft. We wanted it to be comfortable, and we wanted it to be very safe. And so a lot of the criteria were built around that. We have one of the widest cockpits in general aviation that I'm aware of, over 60 inches wide. So for two people, that's pretty comfortable. I'm a fairly big guy, and a lot of my friends are, and I want to have a comfortable experience when I'm flying. So we can actually carry someone up to 6'8" and have over 800 pounds of useful load. So the idea is two people can get in an airplane, throw their bags in, put full fuel, and really go someplace. To do this project and actually make a significant change in what we saw as a base platform for aviation meant that we had to step out of the box. This wasn't going to look like a Cessna clone. And what we ultimately wound up with is a three-surface design. The three-surface design means that basically you've got your primary main wing plus a canard, and then the third surface is actually your traditional horizontal tail. The reason that we went this way is originally we wanted to have a stall spin resistant characteristics that many of the canards have been able to bring to aviation. But we wanted to go one step further and have really good low speed handling characteristics. The three surface design gave us the stall spin resistance of the canard, but the third surface allows us to slow the airplane down and have good low speed handling characteristics for new pilots. After we built Ship 1, we first test flew Ship 1 in 2015. We did extensive testing to see what changes might be helpful for the general public, and came up with a couple of changes that we made before we went into production. Basically, we had a forward folding canopy I was pretty young when I first started designing this, and the idea of climbing upstairs and into the cockpit sounded pretty cool, but it doesn't sound like as much fun anymore. I want to be able to open the gull-wing doors and sit in the seat and swing my legs in like we would a car. So we built that into the aircraft. We also increased the baggage area, basically stretched the airplane. The wings and all of the control surfaces are still basically the ones that came off of our initial test model. That led to what we are now currently completing is our production compliant ship number 2. At the same time, we're also building our first customer aircraft, which is we call Alpha 1. This is a kit-built aircraft, so we chose to really work on the tooling where people can come in and build the aircraft in our facility using our tooling for consistency, and also our way of supporting that builder is that we're able to give them good guidance to make sure that all the bonding is done correctly. So in Ship 2, we enhanced some of the features from Ship 1. We basically, as you can see in this picture, went to a larger gull-wing door. We actually created a service tunnel that goes on the bottom side of the aircraft, making it easier to reach all of the control linkages and our cabling for our instrumentation. We have a modified trailing link landing gear system. That way, if you don't make a perfect landing, which, you know, occasionally I hate to say it, but some of us don't, the aircraft's pretty forgiving. The engine for this aircraft on Ship 1 was the Titan IO 340, 180 horsepower with a fixed pitch prop. And our top speed was a little over 200 miles an hour in that aircraft. In production, we're also offering the IO 370, which is a little over 200 horsepower and a constant speed option. And that will be what's installed on ship number 2. We also have other safety options such as a ballistic parachute and also even nice little things like we have a sunroof that's an option in the plane. But my thing is, if somebody's going to build an airplane, they really want to customize it to be a representation of their personality, and we want to give them the opportunity to do that. So we built a lot of options into the program. Over the next 6 months, we'll be building. We've completed our tooling for what we call the alpha phase. So our first 5 builders are all people who have had extensive experience building home-built aircraft. And then after that, we'll move into a beta phase and expect to be in general production by the 1st of 2019. And in the meantime, we'll build about 16 airplanes total and with the fleet up and flying. Just to give you a little idea of the performance specifications of the aircraft. The aircraft is just under 24 feet wide. One of the key options on this aircraft is that it has a power folding wing system that when you fold the wings, makes the entire vehicle under 8 feet wide, so it's easy to trailer. So originally in Ship 1, we didn't think we were going to be doing a lot of long cross country, so we had a pretty small tank, but in production that'll be a 50-gallon tank. But you can see some of the numbers here about, depending on what engine and prop configuration, the gross weight on the vehicle is just under 2,000 pounds. We did a lot of mean, terrible things to Ship 1. We flew it at over 2,200 pounds just to make sure we could. But those are things you do when you do testing. We also did a lot of extensive testing on the spar design because it was a folding wing. We wanted to make sure not only would it test to very high G loads, but do it repetitively. So we've set up actuators so that we can basically do cycle testing on those wings to be sure that they'll hold up over time. We tested over 8 Gs with no deformation, and they have exceeded all of our expectations. General performance, takeoff and land at around 800 feet. I still don't recommend trying to operate out of the field that short, but you can certainly get into some fairly short fields. The aircraft doesn't stall in a traditional sense, and because of the third surface, what canard drivers typically call the canard bob, is dampened somewhat. You really just reach a point where the aircraft starts to mush, and you get about a 700 foot a minute descent. So we think that's a very safe and non-alarming event for especially new-time pilots.
I want to interrupt to ask a quick question here, because generally now the canard configuration is the front wing. The canard stalls first, and it wants to pitch nose high, and it just kind of drops. As the nose drops, you gain airspeed. Airspeed equals better flying, so it should start to fly, and then if you keep going, it'll porpoise. And you're saying that with your design, it just kind of mushes, and the nose comes up, and it just kind of mushes down?
That's correct, Dave. What happens is that the main wing never even really gets close to stopping the fly. This is a low aspect ratio design, so we've been able to fly the aircraft at over 25-degree angle of attack. So what has a much smoother type transition. The canard just gets to a point where it won't lift the nose anymore. You've run out of authority on the elevator, and it will just start descending slowly. We really tried to see what we could do to make it stall and spin, and we basically had to zoom the aircraft, just head it almost straight up and cut our airspeed back to under 30 knots to get it to actually drop the nose. And then flew right out of it as soon as we got a little airspeed at all. So we're pretty happy.
I'm standing off on the side listening to your presentation. I wanted to step up asking. Now we're showing November of this year. Are you going to be having molds and tooling up? You're showing this month.
Absolutely. One of the things we say is that our molds are 95% complete, and that's just because we have one more mold that's supposed to be here right before Thanksgiving, and it's actually in production as we speak. The plug's been made, so we're very close. The actual tooling, the fabrication tooling that goes along with that, it may be here by Thanksgiving, and it may be halfway to Christmas before we get that in, but we're very close and we're able to move forward. Ship 2 and Alpha 1 are both under construction now, and we've just been waiting for those last few molds to be able to complete it. We're hoping to have those flying somewhere around, I think we've been targeting February for flying of those first 2 aircraft. In a perfect world, we'll do a lot of our test flying. I'm not sure whether we'll have them for summer fun, but it's about that time we would expect to be able to start showing the aircraft flying. And this gives you a little idea of how we move through the beta program and then into general production in January of 2019.
Thank you. Now, anybody have any questions? I've got a couple, but I don't want
The Innovator aircraft, you actually come to our plant and build it. So you buy a package that includes the entire airframe and the builder support to come build it in a factory. And that's about $65,000. Then you have the engine instruments. And we help you select that, especially if you want to have us finish the airplane, because we're kind of standardizing what those options are. Currently, of the customers that we have lined up to build aircraft, the range is between about $145,000 and about $180,000. The guys that have constant speed props and IFR packages on their instrumentation are at the high end of that. But you can build very nice aircraft that will do 200 miles an hour in the $145,000.
And that's, obviously looking at it, I'm going on the basic assumption this is not LSA, this is standard certificated aircraft. You're selling a certificated aircraft. Now, are they all owner built, or are you offering a production, I can hand you a check and get a turnkey airplane?
No, on these, they're all fall into the experimental category. That means that the builder has to build 51% of it. So we designed the system to where basically 2 to 3 weeks of time in the facility, once you built your airplane, you've met the requirements of that 51%. So we know that people don't have the kind of time that they used to build an airplane. I know. I've been down that. Ask me how I know how long it takes. Thought we'd have that flying. We were all pretty confident builders and said, well, we'll have that flying in a year. Well, life gets in the way. It took us 7 years to build that airplane.
All right, the Commuter Craft. Now, you guys have a presence here at the showcase, here just outside the tent here. What's your site number? site number 91. If you go out the side door of the exhibit hall here, you'll walk right into the Commuter Craft people. And obviously you're here with us. What about online? What's your website?
Our website is commutercraft.com. Pretty easy to remember. And if you do get a chance to stop by today, we have the simulator. We can put you in there and let you know what it's like to really fly an Innovator. We'll put that into that stall that we talked about and let you feel with it.
Send me a link.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our friends here with Commuter Craft and the Innovator. You can come by and fly the Commuter Craft Innovator Simulator. Again, right outside the door here. If you're watching us on Facebook Live and you want to, it's commutercraft.com. And I want to thank you for coming up. Is there anything you want to add before you're going to head it back over and get the throngs of people that are waiting out there, Richard?
We're just looking forward to seeing everybody back here next year. This has been an exciting event, and it's great the things that you guys are doing to make this event. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that compliment, and I look forward to seeing you over at Sun Fun. Please come by the radio station, say hi. We'll hook you up with an interview on the radio station over there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We got another interview coming up here shortly. We also have our door prize giveaways. So please stop by the showcase stage table over here off to my left. Sign up, get your raffle ticket, get your name on the list, because we're going to start giving away some prizes here soon. First thing we're going to do is give away a couple of ties given to us by our friends at Captain Santa Claus. Captain Santa Claus Christmas gifts. We've got a couple of people looking there, folks. Make sure you stop. You sign out. We're going to be giving some of those away, folks. Make sure you sign up for a raffle there. Door prizes. So we'll be over there in a minute and get your name out. Get your name on the list for the door prizes. You want to see the other products Captain Santa Claus offers? They're right across the tent here. We'll be back with you shortly.
Yes.
Well, I just got to point out Captain Santa Claus is in booth 1.